What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my Monday night DFS showdown picks. We have the Green Bay Packers going against the Detroit Lions. Can't wait to break it down. Should be a very fun and exciting game. Before we get into it, though, if you guys can leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel so you not miss out on all the other content throughout the week, that'd be much appreciated. And we have a 49-point game total here where the Packers are going to be 12-point favorites, trying to bounce back after a horrific performance last week against the Saints, and I definitely do think they do, as do a lot of other people. And yeah, I say we get into it now, starting with the wide receiver in Davante Adams up top, and he's going to be an absolute priority for me. Obviously, he had a bad game last week, but everybody on the Packers had a bad game last week. I think it's going to be a great bounce-back spot here. 7 targets, 5 receptions. He only played like 3 quarters in that game. But yeah, it's going to be a much better matchup than it was last week against the Saints. The Lions, the worst, if not the worst defense in the NFL. I think Adams is going to have a monster day here. I like him at captain. I'm going to have him in the majority of my lineups. I really can't see myself not having him, to be honest. But yeah, I do like Davante Adams quite a bit. I think he rolls here. Going down to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers had the worst game, I believe, of his career. I'd be shocked if he had a worse game than this one, right? 3.32 DraftKings points, 28 passing attempts, only 15 completions. But again, you can't really look into that too much. This is going to be a much better matchup. They're going to be at home. I would be shocked if Aaron Rodgers looked as bad as he did last week. I think it's a great bounce-back spot here for Rodgers. 49-point game total, where they're going to be 12-point favorites. I do think Rodgers is going to be a very good play. I don't know if I'm going to captain him, though. I do like other players as captains a little bit more, but I think Rodgers in the flex spot is going to be the way to go this week. And yeah, I'm going to be really high on some of these expensive players, and you can pretty much do whatever you want this week. I mean, there's so much value that we'll talk about that it makes it easy to go up and get an Adams, go up and get a Rodgers. Aaron Jones, I think he's fine for sure. Positive game script for him, 12-point favorite, so I do think they're going to be out ahead. So that works in his favor. Touchdown upside as well. For me personally, I do like Rodgers more. I like Adams more, but I think Jones is definitely in play for sure. Somebody I'm going to have in my lineups, but again, I do like the other guys, Adams, Rodgers, a little bit more. And then Jared Goff at 10,000. So he threw the ball 57 times last week. They were trailing by a ton against the 49ers. And I can, to be honest, I can kind of see the same thing here. I think the Packers are going to get up early and often. And I do think that Goff and the Lions are going to have to throw the ball a ton. So we can very well see another 50-plus passing attempts for Jared Goff in this Lions offense again. And at 10,000, it's something I really do like. The game script, 12-point underdogs. They're going to be passing. They're going to be passing a lot. And Jared Goff at 10K, get that garbage time upside as well. I kind of like it there. So I do like Jared Goff. 10K. I like both quarterbacks. I can definitely see myself having lineups with both quarterbacks this week or tonight. Going down a little bit, T.J. Hawkinson, yeah, seems a little bit too expensive, right? 11 targets, so 8 receptions last week, 25.7 DraftKings points. Yeah, 9,600. I don't love it, but he's going to get a lot of opportunity. Like I mentioned, the Lions are 12-point underdogs. They're going to be throwing a ton. I think Hawkinson's somebody to definitely keep your eye on. Yeah, Swift. This is probably one of my favorite plays on the entire slate. So it's not the best game script in the world. By the way, he's questionable. He is expected to play, but he has 8,400. Had 11 rushing attempts last week, 39 yards. And he had 11 targets. Like that's insane. It was because they fell behind. They passed the ball a lot, and again, I can kind of see the same thing here. So yeah, I like Swift a lot. He's going to be 8,400, touchdown upside as well. Good matchup against the Packers' run defense as well. So I like Swift, 8,400. I think that's way too cheap. One of my favorite plays on the entire slate. Yeah, not much interest in these guys. Jamal Williams, you got the revenge game narrative here. He's somebody that got a ton of targets himself, just a little bit too expensive for me. 9 targets, though, 8 receptions, so they're going to be trailing. Williams is going to get opportunities in the passing game. I think he's in play, but I just don't love the price tag. For me, on this slate, I'm much rather, going up and doing like a stars and scrubs, going up and getting an Adams, getting a Rodgers, getting a Goff. Guys like that. But I think Williams is somebody in play, but he's not a complete priority for me there. Robert Tanyan, 6,400, another guy that's, I think he's in play, but I just don't like the price tag whatsoever. Only 4 targets, 2 receptions last week. Like I mentioned, everybody on the Packers did bad, but just not overly high on Tanyan in general. He has touchdown upside, I guess, but I think he's going to need a couple touchdowns to really make an impact here. There's just guys I like above him, like an Adams, like a Jones, or guys I like below him that we'll talk about. So just don't have too much interest in this mid-range or Tanyan in general, but you can't say he's not in play. If he does score a couple touchdowns, he'll be fine. fine. But if he does not score a touchdown, I really have concerns about his upside there. Going down, MVS is one of the most frustrating players, for me at least. I mean, this is a guy that it seems like whenever I play him, he has like 2 targets, 0 receptions, but when I don't play him, he gets a 50, 60-yard touchdown. So he's somebody on a showdown slate where you always have to have interest because he always has that big playability. So I will be sprinkling in some MVS, but again, when I play him, he does horrible. When I don't play him, that's when he gets that 60-yard bomb. So we'll see what happens. I think MVS is somebody to definitely mention, though, for that big playability, and that's something you are looking at in showdown games. Packers defense, no thank you. Not interested in any of the defenses, not the Packers, not the Lions. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I'm going to have a lot of exposure on the Lions side in terms of some of these cheap guys as well that I don't really like the defenses this week. Lazard is very cheap, 4,800, 4 targets, 2 receptions last week there against the Saints, and I think he's probably a little bit more reliable than MVS. I think he's a little bit more safe than MVS. MVS of course has that upside, but I do like Lazard or Lazard. I think is a good play there, especially at the price tag, 4,800 for the second best, in my opinion, wide receiver on the entire team. I like that quite a bit in a game that the Packers should be up. Should be scoring early and often. I do like Lazard quite a bit. So this is interesting here. Khalif Raymond is questionable. If he does play, I will have some interest. We're getting the wide receiver 1 in Khalif Raymond at 4,400. But again, he's questionable. We'll see if he plays, if he does not play. But if he does play, I do have some serious interest in Raymond. And a lot of these Lions wide receivers are just way too cheap. Going to take advantage of it. I think they're going to be passing for most of the game, and I do think they're going to get a lot of opportunity. Of course, Williams is out. Trevor Williams is out, which is going to open up a lot of things. Mason Crosby, kicker. If I'm picking between the kickers, it's going to be Crosby, the higher team total. Crosby, if anything, if I'm going to kickers. Not extremely interested. I do like guys below him a little bit more. We'll talk about him. Quintez Cephas, 3,800, another guy that I have interest in. I do like the two Lions wide receivers below him a little bit more. He's a little bit more expensive than them, but he's definitely in play for sure. Cephas is going to be in play, especially if Raymond does miss. I think Cephas is in play, but there are guys I do like a little bit more, and I'll get to them right now. So St. Brown, 2,400. I believe he got the second most snaps in terms of wide receivers last week, and he's 2,400, especially if Raymond is out. I'm going to be even more interested in St. Brown, but even if he does play, right, like 2,400, that is way too cheap for St. Brown here. So just these Lions wide receivers, another one in Benson. He had like 6 targets last week, 3 receptions. He's 1K. I like it a lot. I like Benson a lot, especially if Raymond doesn't play, but even if he does play, I do like Benson to, get some salary savings for us, like so we can go up and get a Rodgers, get an Adams, get a Jones, guys like that, get a Goff. Benson is going to be somebody that I do like in terms of a pump play. Other than that, not much sticks out. Randall Cobb kind of busted last week. Did not see much snaps. Don't really have interest in him. He is 2K. Don't have interest in the Lions defense like I mentioned. A.J. Dillon, 3,000. He's very cheap. I don't mind him. Dillon's fine, but yeah, other than that, I'm looking to go up top, get Adams, get Rodgers, get Jones, get Goff. I like those 4 quite a bit. I like Swift, and then go down and get some of these Lions wide receivers that are just way too cheap in a game script where they're going to be passing, and they're going to be passing a lot. I think it makes lineup construction very, very easy. We'll have to monitor the news on Raymond. And if Raymond's out, I like these Lions wide receivers more than I already did, and I like them a lot. So, yeah, it should be a fun slate, 49-point game total. I think the Packers do bounce back here, as do everybody. I'd be shocked if they looked as bad as they did last week. So, yeah, guys, that's about it. Didn't mention captains much. I think captain for me, it's going to be Adams. Adams is what I'm looking at the most. Don't know if I'll captain Rodgers. Other than that, I think Swift is an interesting captain option. But yeah, I like Adams quite a bit. Expensive, but it's doable. It's very doable. 17,700. It is doable. All right, guys, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Good luck tonight on the slate. If you guys can leave a like on your way out, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, that'd be much appreciated. Good luck. We'll talk to you soon. Check out the other NFL content throughout the week. And yeah, see you guys. Good luck.